Divorce happens. In fact, it happens to almost 50% of first marriages. So let's talk about it. Welcome to Divorce Happens, a podcast to educate, inspire, support, and yes, make you laugh through divorce and beyond so that you can start fresh on the next phase of your journey. Remember, divorce happens, and then we start fresh.
You get divorced. You get divorced.
Getting divorced?
I'm getting a divorce.
You're getting a divorce.
Because she's getting a divorce.
So what if I get divorced?
Hi, I'm Rhonda Noordyk, financial divorce advocate and a fresh starts expert. I'm so glad that you're here. I'm here today with 5 fresh tips to help you prepare for divorce. So tip number 1 is breathe and build your team. What's the mindset that is needed to be able to select the right team? So typically what I suggest is using my CIA method, which is making sure that they have good communication, meaning good, timely, respectful communication, integrity, and also the ability to advocate. Step number 2, or tip number 2, is review the financials. So the question here is how to best approach the overwhelm. We think of stacks and stacks of paper or large files of information. And my suggestion there is schedule it in to your calendar. Set aside small bits of time, light a candle, grab your favorite beverage, right? And set a timer. And sit down for 20 or 30 minutes and try to focus on getting as much stuff as you can done in a particular category. For example, hey, today I'm going to work on organizing bank statements. And as part of my bridge method, I teach my clients how to organize them and where to put them so that ultimately we're in a really good place related to that, because that's the foundation for all of the things related to divorce. Tip number 3 is identify the gaps. And here, this is where we're going to identify gaps in information, gaps in transparency, and gaps in income. And this is probably one of the areas where we shine the greatest with our clients is because if we can identify the gaps, we then can help close the gaps. One of the things I will say here is, particularly around transparency, a lot of times what I find is that clients are engaging or experiencing, I guess we could say, in the DAM method, meaning their soon-to-be ex or their soon-to-be partner is dodging the disclosure, they're avoiding getting assets valued, and they're misrepresenting information. And so when we see that happening, right, the question is, how do we close the gap? And it takes a team effort. It's engaging the attorney, it's asking the right questions, and sometimes it's even engaging investigative resources for us to be able to help identify the gaps, because women make really good decisions when we have all of the information. Tip number 4 is dial in the data. This is where we're going to be looking at property division and support. And really the question here is, how and when do we negotiate? How much do we push? One of the things I often say here is the numbers in the calculations are only as good as the numbers we're putting in the calculator. So if we don't have accurate information, we're not going to get accurate information as a resulting number, which can impact somebody's livelihood after. For example, if somebody owns a business, what are we using for the income? A lot of times they're only looking at what's on the tax return as what they're paying taxes on. And actually, we take a deeper dive and look at the holistic approach to what the income is, because at the end of the day, that matters, right? It can make a huge difference on monthly income for support calculations. As far as negotiating, one of the strategies I will work with my clients on is helping them to be able to learn how to negotiate. I think we as women can do a better job in that area. I know it's something that I definitely did not bring to the table in my early 20s and have learned some really great skills that I will often share with my clients. But negotiating is one area where I think we can do a better job. And tip number 5 is guide to finish strong. And so the question there is, Rhonda, why is this important? I just want this to be done. But I always say we get one chance to get it right. And we don't need to belabor the situation, but we just want to make sure that there are some really key things that aren't going to come back to bite you later. So what are some of those key things? Looking at variable expenses, health insurance. I'm often, for my clients, looking at the marital settlement agreement prior to them signing so that we can make sure that we've got all the I's dotted and T's crossed. Because unfortunately, I also talk to women that are on the other side of it that haven't had a chance to have me or someone like me review it, and they're in a pickle. So we just want to make sure that we're finishing strong. So I hope that these 5 fresh, quick tips help prepare you for your divorce. And as you may notice, each of these starts with key letter of bridge, except for the E, because we only have 5. But remember, you can always find me at the Fresh Starts Registry in the Expert Guide. And I'm Rhonda Noordyk, certified divorce financial analyst and your financial divorce advocate. Never forget, we're proud of you.
Divorce Happens is produced by Fresh Starts Registry, the only divorce registry platform for everything you need to begin again, including home items, hype team, and everything in between. Remember, divorce happens, and then we start fresh. We're here to support you before, during, and after divorce. Head to freshstartsregistry.com for more info.